What's going on, fam? It's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, Lucky Murray, back with another Gamecock news update. This is a topical video, people, today. So I'm just talking about something that I read, and I'm curious to hear what your opinions is on what I have to say. But before I continue any further, if you like what you read or hear, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell. The notification bell will allow you to know that every time I drop a video. And also, like, if you love this video, let YouTube know that you're digging the content. So let's keep going, man. So I was reading on 247sports.com, and Shane Beamer is installing the Gamecock offense. At first, I was like, the Gamecock offense? What's going on? But there is something there. And what I say is that Shane Beamer is trying to find an identity in our offense, because the last few years underneath Will Muschamp, the South Carolina offense was never really defined in anything in particular. We didn't know exactly what quarterback we wanted to run. We didn't know exactly, as far as the running backs, we didn't know the receivers. I mean, we had really good receivers. We had Debo Samuels. We had Shi Smith. We had Debo and Shi Smith there at one particular time. But seemingly, we couldn't figure it out. We had Brian Edwards. I'm just reading, and I was very curious, because a lot of people think that Shane Beamer is just a special teams coach, because his last position in the SEC was that of the special teams. But he's a very offensive-minded coach. That's why Ray Tanner hired him. And the fact of the matter is that him and offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield is trying to work up a scheme to define as, quote-unquote, the Carolina offense. And you look back and say, hey, man, what are they talking about? Shane Beamer's job, his last job that he had, was with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is the disciple of Mike Leach in the old air raid offense. That's the offense at Texas Tech that made famous when they was throwing the ball a ton of times. Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, remember him. He's the head football coach for the Arizona Cardinals, who's coaching a former Lincoln Riley quarterback. You ever heard the name of Kyler Murray? So Lincoln Riley had three quarterbacks. He's been coaching in Oklahoma for 3 years, and he has this raid offense, this air raid offense on steroids. And he coached Baker Mayfield. He coached Jalen Hurts, and he coached Kyler Murray. Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray both won Heisman Awards for being the best player in the nation at that particular time. Jalen Hurts had his best season underneath Lincoln Riley. Even when he won the SEC Player of the Year back in 2016, he had, let me go up there and see, he had a total of, he was 15, he had 2,780 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. And he never got quite past the 700 mile mark. 2017, I think that's the year he got replaced by Tula. And then in 2018, he was kind of trying to be a receiver as well. In 2019, when we went to Oklahoma, man, he had 3,851 yards. He had 32 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So he increased his touchdown output by almost 10 touchdowns from his freshman year when he won a SEC Player of the Year. And he also had one less interception. So he was highly, highly efficient. And this was underneath the Lincoln Riley offense. So I'm giving you that type of context to go back to this. Lincoln Riley this year ran a wishbone offense. The wishbone offense. I'm gonna break it down to you guys because a lot of your guys know this, but football geniuses. But I'm gonna break it down to you. It's a power running offense, which makes it's popular. But we haven't. I don't know if the wishbone offense is making a surge back into college football because now everything is spread. But now the wishbone is a little different than what it was back in the day. But it consists of 2 tight ends, 1 fullback, and 2 halfbacks, and a quarterback. So you're thinking like, that sounds very interesting. We have 2 running backs that we feel highly, highly confident in. Last year, breakout star Kevin Harris, who was one of the nation's leading rushers, and we have a potential 5-star backfield mate in Marshawn Lloyd, who tore his ACL and was out for the season last year. So we got Kevin Harris coming back, and we also got Marshawn that's behind him. And we also got a freshman, Rashad Amos, that's a rising freshman too. So it is crazy. Our tight end situation looking crazy with Nick Muse coming back. And the position that they are highlighting heavily is the H-back. And the H-back is simply a flex tight end. It's like a flex fullback where they can block, but they can catch, and they can run the ball. They're threatening the offense. And Luke Doty, he is ultimately probably going to win the starting job, but he has a lot of skill sets as well that can make this offense really interesting. The thing is, I know we got 2, and then we have, I forgot to tell you, we have all 5 starting offensive linemen coming back from the 2020 season into this year's season. So continuity, as far as the offensive line, is a plus. I look at this season like this, and I look at it like this. I believe that we got some pieces, but I'm just concerned about the wide receivers. Who is going to catch the ball? Like De'Carrion Jordan, I say this name and I say this a lot. He's a playmaker that needs to touch the ball somehow, some way. I don't know if he's going to have a breakout season next year. I don't know. I just don't know. We don't know other than Shot Smith. Our only receiver that really looked like he was contributing was Nick Muse, and he's our tight end. So I'm curious about this. And then last year we did really well when we was in the I formation, when we had a power running game, and we led with Kevin Harris and didn't depend on Colin Hill to throw the ball and make mistakes. But I'm curious to see what you got to say, man. What do you think about this, man? Comment below, because the Gamecock offense, do you see our offense resembling a mashup between Oklahoma and LSU? You know what I'm saying? Where we're throwing the ball like crazy and then mixing in with the run. I don't know, man. It sounds interesting, but let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Again, it's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, and please don't forget all 3. Lucky Murray back with another Gamecock news update. And yes, Shane Beamer is installing the Gamecock offense. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. But until next time, people.